So today we're going to be making this walnut caramel tart. We're going to start by adding flour, some sugar, some butter, a little bit of cream, and you want to just whisk that up so you get like a nice firm dough. And I cooled my dough for about half an hour. But you don't want to cool it for too long, otherwise you're going to have a hard time working with it later if it's too cold. And I already like shaped it into like a square or like a round. It just makes it easier later to roll it out. In the meantime, I chopped up the walnuts. Yeah, you could probably also do this with pecans, but walnuts just way better. And I also you don't want to crumble them up too much, just a little bit. And then I also zested juiced a lemon. And then I prepared my baking. Well, I just used like a cake pan. I put some baking sheets, a baking sheet underneath, just so it doesn't stick, but you can just butter it. And then I divide the dough in about 2/3, and then you want to roll it out. And you're gonna see it's a very annoying dough. It's a really crumbly dough. You're gonna have a hard time working with it. But don't worry about it. Just like try to place it piece by piece onto the pan. And then I just add like a little bit of the dough where there are holes, and like I pat everything together. And I just try to make like a little rim on the outside. And just try to make it like about the same length. And I also like try to straighten it out with like a little baking dish. Then in a pan, you want to add your sugar and your lemon juice. And you want to start making a caramel. I think everybody kind of knows where that's at. I like to whisk it together. I know some people don't like that because it caramelizes it, but honestly it works. It crystallizes it, but it works really well for me. I just whisk it together until like the sugar melts. And then after a while it will turn like a nice golden amber color. And you'll kind of slowly know when it's ready. Yeah, when it has about this color, then it's good. You want to take it off the heat, I would recommend. And I add in my heavy cream. Be careful when doing this part. Please do this with adult supervision. Because it can bubble up. And then I also add in my honey when it is a bit cooled down, because if it's too hot, the honey can burn. And then I add in my nuts and try to mix it so the nuts are nice and coated in the caramel. And then I add this into, the bottom piece of the cake pan. And I just flatten it out. Yeah, and to make it easier for later, I cooled everything down. I put it in the fridge, so you're gonna have it's gonna be easier for you to put the lid on. But you could technically do this all in one take. But yeah, I cooled it for about 2 hours in the fridge, and then it gets like nice and hard. And yeah, then I rolled out the rest of the dough, transferred it again, same process. yeah, I flattened it out with my fingers. Again, it was quite hard to do. But it's a very good dough. It's like a very crumbly dough and it will taste so good in your mouth. And then I also added in a little bit of decorations. I made like these diagonal like lines just with a fork, as you could see. And then on the outside, oh yeah, I also added in some holes to let the steam escape. I really would recommend you doing that. And then on the outside I made like a little rim. Yeah, just stomped the fork in. You can make it nicer than I did, but that is like the traditional decoration. Yeah, and then I put it in the oven for 40 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. And yeah, this is me cutting it open. And the best way to eat it if it's like really nice and cooled down. And then it tastes really good. And then the caramel is like nice and sticky. Yeah, it's really good. This is a traditional Swiss dessert, and yeah, I hope you like it. You can also add some chocolate on top and it would be really good, or whatever you like, honestly.